In this video we will be covering the provisions of Section 143(1). Section 143(1) governs the processing of income tax returns filed by taxpayers. This is called an intimation by the department. It carries out procedures for processing returns, including assessment of tax liability, refunds, and arrears. After taxpayers file their returns, a preliminary assessment is conducted. This assessment includes checking for arithmetical errors, incorrect claims of deductions or exemptions and tax credits, internal inconsistencies, tax calculation, verification of tax payment, claim of loss carried forward in case the return was furnished beyond due date, and disallowance of expense considered in audit report but not considered in the income tax return, and making adjustments to the income or tax liability if required. No such adjustments shall be made unless an intimation is given to the taxpayer of such adjustments either in writing or in electronic mode. The taxpayer is required to furnish his response to the proposed adjustments within 30 days of issue of such intimation, and if no reply is filed by the taxpayer, then the proposed adjustment in the intimation shall be made. To expedite tax determination and refunds, CBDT has created a scheme for centralized processing of returns. This process is fully computerized and handled by the Central Processing Center, CPC, Bangalore, without direct interaction with taxpayers. The system generates an intimation under Section 143(1), which typically highlights obvious errors identified by the mainframe system. The intimation received is password protected. The password to open the intimation is your PAN number in lowercase followed by your date of birth or incorporation in the format DDMMYYYY. Assuming your PAN is ABCDE1234F and the date of birth is the 1st of January 2001, the password to open the intimation will be ABCDA1234F01012001. The intimation has two columns, as provided by the taxpayer in the return of income and as computed under Section 143(1). Comparison is then made for major categories such as income under various heads, gross total income, deductions under Chapter 6A and tax deducted at source, and tax paid by taxpayers in the form of advance tax and self-assessment tax. Such intimation under Section 143(1) can be of three types. Intimation with no demand or no refund. This generally happens if the department has accepted the return as filed without carrying out any adjustments to it. However, this can also happen in case where the loss declared in the return by the taxpayer is adjusted but no tax, interest or fee is payable by, or no refund is due. Intimation determining demand. This generally happens in case adjustments are made due to a discrepancy found and tax liability is arrived at. Intimation determining refund. This generally happens in case where the taxpayer has paid excess taxes. Such refund is receivable along with the interest on such refund. Now that we know what is the intimation under Section 143(1), let's see what are the actions to be taken by the taxpayer. Review the intimation to ensure it pertains to your return itself and data provided pertain to the same financial year as mentioned in the intimation. Check the name, PAN, address, e-filing acknowledgement number and assessment year for which intimation has been received. In case you are able to identify the mistakes you have made while filing your return from the intimation, they can be rectified by filing a revised return. However, if no mistakes have been made and you do not agree with the adjustments made, you can file an online rectification application under Section 154(1), intimating the correction of mistake appearing in the intimation. In case you are not satisfied with the processing of your rectification return by CPC, you can also file online grievances or contact your assessing officer. However, if taxpayer agrees to the tax demand raised by Income Tax Department after carrying out adjustments as above, taxpayer is required to pay such taxes. There is a pre-filled challan attached with the intimation on the basis of which the tax can be paid. Intimation under Section 143(1) shall be issued within 1 year from the end of the financial year in which the income tax return is filed. Now, what to do in case the taxpayer does not receive an intimation under Section 143(1) even after the end of the specified period? The acknowledgement of the return shall be deemed to be the intimation in such a case. Remember, if you ever get an intimation from the tax department, don't panic. It's just their way of saying, hey, let's double check this together. And if you need a hand, there are tax experts out there ready to decode the cryptic messages. In case of any further questions, do connect with us on info@caprco.in. Please note that the details provided in this video are based on the provisions existing as on the date of publishing this video.